All right. Hi, guys. Give me a sec. I'm just going to check to make sure that it's working. And if you guys are jumping on with me, feel free to say hi. I'm so excited. Today is day 3. So day 3 of 4. This went so fast, and it's been so amazing. I want to thank everyone for joining me. Today we are talking about the archetype of the mother, or the avatar of the warrior woman. So hold on, let me just make sure this is working. All right, cool. We are good. So like I said the last couple of times, I have a workbook that accompanies these trainings. So if you guys want to get your workbook, it is in the comments of this this video, as well as some soul work that you can do. You can answer the questions, and feel free to post them in the Facebook group after the training is finished. So like I said, today we'll be talking about the mother and the warrior woman. So I just want to give you a quick introduction of who I am again, and a quick overview of this course as a whole. And then we'll get right into the mother. And like I said, thank you so much for joining me. This is the Overwhelmed to Divinely Aligned course. This is day 3. So the past 2 days we've done the hag, we've done the virgin, and now we're moving into fullness as we do the mother and the wild woman. And I just want to introduce myself really quickly. My name is Allison Graham. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I help women tune into their cyclical nature and feminine flow so they can understand who they are, why they're here, and what they have to contribute to the world. And I am just totally excited and lit up by this information. I believe that we are all collectively being called to be here to raise the vibration, to raise the frequency of the planet, and to allow the collective to rise together. And this information is so potent because we're using information from the past. We're using these archetypes, these modes of understanding, to create a picture about how the feminine is embodied in today's world. And if you're hopping on, feel free to say hi. Hi, Sarah. So this overarching, these archetypes really give you a picture into how the feminine operates in the world, and how we can bring ourselves to a point of understanding and deep awareness, right? So this information is really meant to allow you to come back into alignment with yourself, back into alignment with the collective, and gain a deep understanding of how you operate in the world. And like I said, if you're interested in doing a little bit of extra work, I put some prompts in the comments, and I put the workbook in the description of the video as well. So you can always use that, print it, save it, do whatever you're going to do with that. So a couple of recommendations that I've made for you to get the most out of this course. The first thing I would highly, highly recommend as you use this information is to get a calendar, any calendar, and just kind of write the first and the third quarter moons, the new and the full moon on the calendar. So say this is a really good time to start because this is the very beginning of October. And so what I want you to do with this calendar is just track yourself throughout the entire month, right? So you know where the moons are, you kind of get an idea, picture of what will be happening around those times, and then you can track your month. So you track your mood, you track your body, whether you're feeling bloated or skinny or strong. You track your cravings, track your sexual tendencies and your sexuality. Maybe you track if you have any like vaginal discharge, or if like you smell, track your power level, how you're feeling, and just an overall snapshot of your life every day, your dreams, and any messages that might be coming through from you intuitively. And the reason why I recommend that you guys get a calendar and track yourselves, and like I said, this is a really good time to start because this is the beginning of October. And according to all of the energetic readings that I've kind of come across in the online space, this is going to be a massively transformative month. So this is really the perfect time for you to, if you don't already, to just create really strong awareness around how you naturally act in the world, how your body naturally ebbs and flows, how your power level, your confidence level, how your physical body changes throughout the month. This is a super powerful tool to use to build awareness about who you are. And as you are tracking yourself, you can see how these feminine archetypes that we've been going over the last 3 days kind of play out in your life. And that's where all of us kind of ties together. And this information can really be utilized to help release resistance around your thought patterns. It can help you increase your creativity, because then you'll know what time of the month you're more apt to feel really creative, and you'll really be able to either harness that or cultivate that. Even like feeling ambitious when you should go out into the world and make connections. So it's really about building this really strong awareness about how the feminine, how you are embodied in this physical form, and how you create and relate to the outside world. So like I said, to give you as a little bit of an overview, again, this is we're talking about feminine archetypes here, right? So there are 4 basic archetypes, and each of these archetypes I have corresponded them to a well-known self-identifying avatar. And they also identify with a particular season, a particular colors, a particular phase of the moon, and it has its own special feel and flow. And each of these archetypes obviously are self-contained, but they all weave together. They all kind of, as the moon waxes and wanes, as you move through your month, you'll see how some of these characteristics show up, and some of them kind of take a back seat. And like I said, it's all about building awareness about who you are. And it really creates a full picture, right? So like we talk about embodying the feminine, we talk about embodying your fullness in your light and in your darkness. And it really points to this dualistic kind of feminine nature that we all have inherently inside of us. And, we are the cosmos in physical form. We are the connection to the divine in physical. So building awareness about how we operate and who we are is super potent. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, let's go right into it. This is day 3. I entitled it Fullness. And today we're going to be speaking about the mother archetype, or the warrior woman, right? So you can already kind of get a feel. A lot of people find it easy to relate to this archetype because it is the mother. And we all have had experiences with women who are mothers. And I just want to point out before we go any further into this archetype that when I say mother, I don't just mean mother of children. I mean mothering creation, whatever that means for you. Okay, so I'll go more into that. But just take a moment, if you're on with me, and just shut your eyes. We're going to do a quick guided visual meditation to kind of drop us into this feeling, this essence of the mother archetype and who she is. So close your eyes. Peel the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Roll your shoulders down and back. Sit up nice and tall in your chair. Allow your sit bones to be firmly grounded. Maybe your feet are on the ground. And then take a nice deep inhale through the bottom of your feet. So visualize the air entering through the bottom of your feet, going through your kneecaps, through your hips, right through your womb space, weaving up your spine all the way out through the top of your head. And then with your exhale, allow that air to escape down your spinal column, down your shoulders as it releases any tension, and your exhale right back through the bottom of your feet as you release anything that is no longer serving you. And then take a nice deep inhale, fill your entire chest cavity, your womb space, allow yourself to expand, allow yourself to take up space. And then as you exhale, you get rid of anything that you don't need as you drop into the present moment. Now I want you to place yourself, visualize a hunter-gatherer community on the brink of an ancient river. You're with the other women in your tribe. You look around. You feel the earth underneath your feet. You feel the sun gently kissing your face. And you see other women surrounding you. There are women that are washing, weaving, tending to children, sitting peacefully in meditation, teaching and sharing with one another. You see the elders sitting around a fire as the breeze blows gently, and you feel deeply, deeply connected with the earth. You feel a deep sense of reverence and respect for yourself and the other women in your tribe. You notice the carefree and wondrous nature of the beautiful children you have the privilege to help raise and care for. There's a sense of calm, sturdy connectedness as all of the women come together for your afternoon meal. You hold a deep sense of pride and purpose as you realize the women, yourself included, are the glue of this beautiful community. Take a nice deep inhale as you take in that gratitude, that connection, that strength. And then exhale. And when you're ready, you can come back into the space together. Beautiful. Good. So let's talk about this warrior woman. Let's talk about this mother. And I'm sure if you're on live with me, if you have any comments or feelings that came up as we kind of meditated through this mother, this warrior woman, the energy of this mother archetype is nurturing. It has an edge of doing whatever it takes to get it all done. But this energy is very nurturing. It's strong and sturdy and able to lead others effectively. So if you think of any of somebody in your life that is a mother, right? You think of her as just like this superwoman, right? Like this warrior woman, this woman who is like, can always get it all done, that can always nurture and care, that will always love you unconditionally. And that will always sacrifice whatever is needed to be sacrificed for the good of all, for everyone around her, right? So this mother, this warrior woman, the phase of the moon that is associated with is the full moon, fully illuminated, right? In her fullness. This mother, you think of a mother, and particularly what comes to mind is especially when a mother's like breastfeeding, how like voluptuous and full she is, right? And how the mother always seems to be full. She always has something to give. She always has this sense of just being full and being okay and just like being the rock. So this season that the mother or the warrior woman is associated with is summer. So you can think of fullness also in the context of summer. Everything is in bloom. The sun is shining. The grass is green. You know, summer, it kind of has this like ease, but also this fullness. Everything's already blossomed, and you're just like at the peak. Everyone loves summer, right? You're just at like the peak of the seasons. The colors that are associated with the mother or the warrior woman are green and blue. So again, if you can think of the mother as nurturing and caring, green and blue are very nurturing colors, right? You can think green grass, blue sky, and you're just the conduit in between. You can think of this like earthly connection, this very like nurturing, loving. And also the colors green and blue have to do with your fourth and fifth chakras, which are your heart and your throat chakra, which heart chakra is obviously connected with love, and your throat chakra is connected with connection and being able to speak and really communicate your truth. And so those are two qualities of the mother or the warrior woman that really are embodied when you're in this kind of energy. So if we wanted to talk, like we said, we've kind of been painting a picture about what this mother archetype looks like, what this warrior woman looks like, and the feelings that she brings up. So we're talking about feeling nurtured. We're talking about being really fertile. We're talking about ovulation. So like I said, when we're talking about our menstrual cycle, right? Like our monthly cycle, whether or not you're bleeding, we still energetically go through this wax and wane of our cycle. And the point in your cycle when you're ovulating, you're fertile. You know, you have this seed literally of creation. Also, the mother kind of brings up this like harmonizing and mitigating effect. So you can think of like two siblings fighting, right? And it's like, I'm telling mom, like, I'm going to go tell mom, you know? And the mother is always the one that can mitigate. She can harmonize everything together. She is the glue. And mothers really tend to serve for the good of all. The mother really has this like deep responsibility to serve everyone around her, to make sure that everyone around her is okay, to make sure that everyone around her feels their love, feels the mother's love. And the mother is pretty balanced, I would say. I think that it's kind of like a lot of women, especially now in our social and cultural context, a lot of women take on the role of both the masculine and the feminine, right? So it is the mother archetype is this like very balanced masculine feminine archetype that brings the fierceness and like the push and the drive and the ability to get it all done of the masculine, but also brings this really beautiful, nurturing, loving, caring, connected kind of energy of the feminine. So this mother archetype really embodies both when it's in its balance. And also the mother archetype, like I said, has this masculine component kind of to it, whereas like some of the other archetypes doesn't have so much of a masculine feel, like especially like the hag doesn't really have this masculine feel to it. It has this very like deeply intuitive, inward kind of energy of the feminine. So this is a really good kind of archetype to tap into when you need to get shit done, when you need to just like head down, move forward, pick your plan and execute your plan with preciseness, with this like kind of warrior fierceness, but also with the bigger picture for the good of all in mind. So I want to talk a little bit about what it's like when the mother archetype is out of alignment. So, and this is a big one, especially for, I feel like my personal mom and like my mother's generation. This is it's a very powerful archetype, but it also swings the other way in a very real way. So like out of alignment, the mother never really takes time for herself. She's like this superwoman with no reprieve at all, right? So like she has no self-care habits. There's no fun in her life. There's just like too much purpose with like absolutely no enjoyment. So when this mother, this warrior woman archetype is out of alignment, she completely forgets about herself. So while it's good that she has this like nurturing, loving, caring, collaborative aspect about her, if she cannot fill up her own cup, if she cannot take time for herself, if she becomes this warrior with literally no reprieve, no time for downtime, no time for self-care, she will become horribly out of alignment, right? And I think that a lot of women who are actually physical mothers, and like I said before, the mother, the warrior woman is really the seat of creation, of ovulation, but you know, it's great that you have this creative fire and it's great that you can give, but if you never learn how to give back to yourself, you won't feel the fullness of what it means to embody the feminine form. You'll feel a little bit empty, you know, you'll forget about yourself, you'll forget about what it means to take care of yourself. And I think what comes along with this is like attachment, right? So you become attached to the outcomes of other people. You become attached to, say, in this case, say you have a child, you become very attached to that child and trying to control them. So it becomes almost this controlling energy where you forget about yourself. And you forget that without your cup being full, without your energy being balanced, you will not be able to fully take care of yourself, and you will not fully be able to take care of anyone else. Emma says snaps. Yeah, I agree. So you really kind of see how this mother, this warrior woman archetype can be so freaking powerful, right? So you have this edge of doing whatever it takes to get it all done. You have this like strong and sturdy ability to lead others effectively. You have this sense of bringing everyone up with you, but out of alignment, it can be really detrimental. You know, this is where like energetically, like health problems can arise. Energetically, this is where depression can arise. You know, this is where you forget to take care of yourself. This is where you don't even have fun. And you're just like, I have to run around and do one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And I don't even do anything for myself anymore. You know, women say that this particular archetype out of alignment also becomes kind of a little bit almost bitter, you know. You can become bitter because you don't have any more to give. You're like, I'm just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and I never take for myself, and I don't know how to receive. And that's a big one too. You know, as the mother, the seed of creation, you're giving, and you forget that there is two sides, right? We live in dualistic nature. We have both this capacity to give, which is immense, but we also have this, we have to learn how to receive on the other end of it. We have to learn how to be nurtured and taken care of on the other end of it, as well as giving. You need to receive, because without the balance, you end up feeling empty. You might feel a little bit angry or a little bit like resentful in a way. So this, like I said, is a very powerful archetype to tap into, but you really need to watch out for the signs of it being out of alignment. So like I said, it has this full moon energy attached to it. So when the full moons roll around, it is very easy to kind of, to tap into this kind of energy. So if you feel like you need to tap into your mother, your warrior woman energy, you feel like you need to get shit done, this is the full moon would be a really good time to tap in, to kind of drop into this mother warrior energy and figure out what you need to do in order to get it done, and then actually execute getting it done. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm just going to take a drink real quick and take a breath. All right, cool. So I want to talk a little bit about how to utilize this mother, this warrior woman energy. And we kind of touched on it before, but I'll just more directly say it now. The best way to utilize this energy is to really nurture. So if you're feeling like you're kind of missing this, if you're feeling like you're a little bit cold and you're kind of missing this like motherly energy, the best way to do that is to show the people that you care about how much you love them and care. So whether that can mean anything, that can mean writing them a note, that can mean bringing them flowers, that could just mean verbally expressing your love, your appreciation for your tribe or the people that are surrounding you, that you just give them a nice big hug. Just be like, I love you, I appreciate you, thank you for everything that you do. And that'll just kind of bring up this like motherly energy. Also, you can allow yourself to really bring your creations to life by putting in the work. So like I said, this mother energy, this mother archetype you can also envision her as like this warrior woman, this woman who's like just super woman, like hands on your hips, like chest up and forward, like you can do whatever you need to do to get it done. And so whether that means you're creating a physical child, or whether that means you're creating a course or a painting, or or you play music and you're creating a piece, whatever it might be, this motherly energy, this full moon energy is really fertile. So this is the time when you can really bring your creations to life by putting in the work, right? Because you have the energy, you have the warrior spirit and drive to put in the work to allow your creations to actually take form. And if I can draw a parallel to yesterday, we were talking about the virgin, who's like the wild woman. So if you can kind of go back, drop into the energy of the wild woman, the virgin, right? Her energy is a little bit, it's outward and it's a little bit erratic, right? So that if you're going to drop into the energy of the virgin or the wild woman, that is a good time to get all of your ideas out on paper. Just be like, oh, I want to do this and this and this and this and this, and I want to do all the things, and not really having any direction. So from the virgin energy, you move into the motherly energy where it's like, okay, I have all these ideas. Now this motherly energy is more directed. It's like, okay, which ideas can I take and which ideas can I actually give form to? Because I am in this fertile, giving, very open, very nurturing kind of energy here. So as you move, and it's really beautiful to watch all the archetypes kind of weave together, you know, you move from this inward hag energy to understand what you really want. And then you move to this virgin, this renewed energy that's like, okay, I can do all the things. And then you move to the mother energy that's like, all right, let's be real. Like, what can we do? Like, what can we actually allow to come into creation? And then we'll talk about the enchantress tomorrow, which is a really fun one. And anyway, so you can really try to utilize this mother energy to bring your creations to life. And then also, this is a big one, and just like trusting yourself, right? Like, you might not exactly know what you're doing, but this motherly energy, this warrior woman, is just trusting yourself, trusting that she knows exactly what she needs, trusting that she knows that she's prepared to lead with keen insight and swiftness. So this is a lot about being fertile, and then just like trusting that you already have the tools, you already have the insight, you already have the keen awareness that you need to allow your creations to come to life. And then just know that you can get it done. Like, you are a badass mother, warrior woman, and you can absolutely get it all done, and you will get it all done. And, you know, they say, I'll use an example of somebody who has like a child, and they're like, yeah, I just figured it out, right? These are like the master manifestors. These are like the master creators. Like, this mother energy is like the master at just getting it done. Like, you know, you can get it done, and you know you will get it done, and nothing is going to get in your way, and there's no one that can stop you, you know, especially when it comes to children. But I think that can go for all creations, right? Whether you're writing a book or creating music or whatever it might be. Yeah, and just a couple of, like I said before, just be super mindful of this energy, because while this warrior woman, this mother energy, this mother archetype in its power, in its balance, is really, really pungent and potent and really, really willing and able, it also has this very deep, dark downside, which means that she never takes time for herself, which there's no reprieve, which means an empty cup, which means that you're lacking self-care, which means that you're lacking habits or fun, without purpose, without enjoyment, just kind of like you're on autopilot all the time, and there's no reprieve from that. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. Now would be a good time. Good. So I just want to drop you guys back into this kind of mother, this warrior woman energy in her fullness, in her alignment. And like I said, continue to track yourself, right? Continue to notice where you are in your cycle. Continue to notice when this mother, this warrior woman energy really shows up in your life, and then use that information to harness that energy, to harness that archetype, to really allow yourself to move into the fullness of the mother or the warrior woman. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick meditation to finish you guys off here. So close your eyes, roll your shoulders down and back, sit up nice and tall in your chair. Maybe you plant your feet firmly on the ground. Take a nice deep inhale and allow your inhale to fill up your chest cavity, to fill up your womb space, to fill up your pelvis. hips and your collarbones. And then maybe you exhale and you sigh it all out. And a nice deep inhale. Allow your shoulders to melt. Peel the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Allow your womb space and your stomach to expand. And then with your exhale, allow yourself to just kind of be present in this moment, to melt, to become fully aware of your feminine form. You are the mother. You are the warrior woman. You have the ability to nurture and care for other people. You're still back in this hunter-gatherer community on the bank of an ancient river. And you look around with your feet on the earth, the wind in your hair, and the sun on your face. You see the woman around you, and you have a deep, unwavering respect and reverence for your ability to be the glue. There are women with washing and tending to the children and sitting peacefully, talking and sharing with one another. You notice how powerful you feel. You notice how strong and connected the women in your tribe are. And you understand that each and every one of you play an integral role in creation and nurturing. You allow yourself to be held by the other women, by your tribe, by the earth and the sky. You feel a calm and deep sense of responsibility and respect. Remember that you are full. You have the ability to give and receive. You are balanced, and you have the ability to make things happen for the good of all. Take a nice deep inhale. Allow that energy to settle within you. And with your exhale, just kind of melts. And yes, thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the mother archetype and the warrior woman. We will be back tomorrow for the last day of the 4-day course. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the enchantress or the witch. So if you guys have any questions, remember I'm always here to answer them. There's the workbook, and there is the soul work in the comments or in the description of this video. So if you're feeling called to share your experience with this video and with this mother, warrior, woman archetype, feel free to leave that in the High Vibe Empowerment Tribe. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for participating. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys find this wildly helpful and transformative. And I will see you guys tomorrow.